Okay, I think guys we're live. Hi everyone, good evening. Am I audible to all of you? Yeah, hi Shakil, hi. Let me know guys if I'm audible to all of you. Yeah, I think guys we're live. Fine. So I'm audible. So guys, now let's start the session. So I think you know, actually we are continuing with our MLOps production ready deep planning project implementation. So today is day 3, and if you want to see the previous sessions, what you can do, this is the playlist guys. If you go to my YouTube channel, so here is the playlist MLOps production ready deep learning project. So if I click on the playlist, you can see we have completed the project introduction and setup. Then I think previous video I already discussed the MLOps tool like MLflow and DBC. Okay, how we can use this particular tool in our implementation. So make sure first of all you complete this 2 lecture, then you can start with this lecture. That means to this lecture. Okay, otherwise definitely will get difficulty. And guys, there are some announcement. You can see I already published one generative AI like mastery course. Like this is a completely full course, so you can also if you're interested in generative AI, you can also refer this course. Apart from that, actually I'm also going to publish Python programming course. Okay, Python programming video. So here actually we'll be learning Python for artificial intelligence. So those who are interested learning Python for the artificial intelligence, if you want to learn the modular coding and all, so you can check out this playlist as well. Okay, and there is another great announcement guys. I think yesterday I told you my Udemy courses are free. Okay, my Udemy courses are free, but what was happened actually, so only 1000 enrollment was available, but that enrollment was full. So many people actually were not able to actually enroll for the course. So now what you can do, see, again it's a free. Okay, again it's free. Now you can enroll for the course. So let me share you the link. So make sure you are clicking on this link, otherwise it won't be working. Okay, so I'm given the link in the chat. So this is the generative AI and this is the Python. Okay, both course now it is free. Again 1000 seats are available, 1000 enrollments are available. So make sure you enroll, okay, quickly, as soon as possible. All right, so this is the coupon code. Okay, this is the coupon code. You can see this coupon code you can use. So both places you can see the coupon code. This is the coupon code. If you're using any other link, other coupon code, it won't be working. So make sure you're using this coupon code, then you will get this course as free. Okay, so hurry up guys, otherwise if 1000 enrollment is over, again you won't be able to enroll for this. Fine, now I think now we can start with our deep learning project implementation. So today I think you saw, today the agenda would be data ingestion. Okay, like we'll be learning how we can perform the data ingestion for this deep learning project. And here we'll be reading the data from the Google Drive itself, because so far we have seen how to read the data, let's say from the database. Okay, then different things we have already learned, right? But I will also tell you how we can read the data from the Google Drive itself, because Google Drive provides free space. Okay, it will give you actually I think 15 GB free space. That free space you can utilize if you're having any kinds of image data, text data. So you can also read the data from the Google Drive itself. Okay, it is also fine. Okay, so going forward I will also show you how we can read the data from the S3 bucket, Z Cloud bucket. So everything we'll try to explore one by one. All right, so here my main intention is to show you all kinds of services we can use, right? That is the thing. Great. So guys, if you are ready, so you can give me a quick yes in the chat. If you can send any kinds of emoji, like anything you can send guys, so that I can get a confirmation. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel guys, try to subscribe to my channel and like this video, all of you. And this is the GitHub. So here we are committing all of our source code. Let me also paste in the chat. Great, now we can start with our data ingestion part. So as I already told you, here we'll be ingesting the data from the Google Drive itself, right? Google Drive itself. So you can see in the Google Drive, I already kept my data, and this is a zip file actually. If I show you, this is a zip file. Apart from that, I'm having some more data, but as of now, just try to ignore them. Only try to see this chest CT scan image data.zip. Now you can ask me from where actually I got this image. I already told you I used actually something called roboflow.com. So roboflow provides actually all kinds of computer vision services. So you can actually perform object detection, image segmentation, then key point detection, image classification, all kinds of tasks you can perform inside roboflow platform. Apart from that, they're having one amazing product called Universe. Okay, so if I show you the Universe is nothing but it will give you all kinds of computer vision related data. Okay, let's say if you need any kinds of data, object detection, image segmentation, image classification, all kinds of data are available inside roboflow Universe. So simply you just need to search here. Okay, you just need to search here. First of all, select the category, what kinds of tasks you want to perform, object detection, classification, instance segmentation, or anything. Let's say I want to perform classification. I'll just try to select classification. Now here you can search about the data. Let's say I need a chest CT scan. Okay, CT scan. Now just click on the search button. You will see it will give you chest related data. See guys, it has given you chest related data. See, chest CT scan. See guys, so this data actually I'm using. So if you want to download the data, what you need to do, just click on the data. Okay, click on the data. So it will give you one download link. So here is the button guys, just try to click here, download project. Then after that, download the data set. Okay, then simply you can select the zip file downloader. Either you can also download as a code, but I will select the zip file option. Then I will click on the continue. So once you click on the continue, you will see that it will start downloading your data. See, okay, it is downloading the data. Now let me cancel because I already have the data. I'll share with you. So no need to worry guys, I will share with you the data. Data would be present. Data would be present. In the GitHub. Okay, in the GitHub I will mention the link. From there you can download the data. Okay, but first of all, let me show you how we can ingest the data from the Google Drive itself. So first of all, we'll see one experiment. Then we'll be implementing as a code. That means the entire data ingestion pipeline. That is the agenda. So let me open up my Google Drive. See, once you download the data, so I think I showed you my data already. Let me show you again. So my data is available here. So this is the data, chest CT scan data. So this is the folder guys, adenocarcinoma cancer affected chest and normal chest. So these two kinds of category you are having. So first of all, make a zip file, and this zip file just try to upload in the Google Drive. Okay, try to upload in the Google Drive. You can see I've already uploaded in the Google Drive, and make sure whenever you are uploading in the Google Drive, you just giving the permission. So click on the share button, and here you need to give the permission with anyone with the link. Okay, so initially it would be restricted. First of all, change the access. Okay, change the access to anyone with the link, so that whenever you are accessing this file through the Python code, it can access that file. Okay, that is what you have to do. Got it? Okay, now let me open up my VS Code. So I think you already know we are implementing this project in the VS Code. And in the last session, I think I was having one issue. I think, remember guys, that DVC issue, remember? So I was having one error actually. So it was giving me path not found error. So I already figured out the error. Actually, one person helped me to figure out. I forget his name actually. But thank you for your identifying this error actually. So see, there actually why we are getting the error, because we directly copied this path, right? This path in the dependency. So here you can see Python was written. Okay, if I show you my previous implementation. So let's say if I open the resource folder, now not in the resource folder, it is available inside MLOPs tool. That dvc.yaml. See here what I did, I written Python pipeline / stage01.py. Okay, but this is not a file location. Okay, this is a command I have written. Okay, that is why it was giving me the error. So what you need to do, you just need to remove the Python. So here you can see I already updated. I just need to remove the Python from here. Okay, then it will work. So there won't be any kinds of error. Got it? So that's how we can fix it. That means my previous code was fine. But only the thing is I by mistake actually I mentioned the Python. Okay, in the dependency. That was the issue. And again, thank you for identifying that error. So if you're watching this, so you can comment me here so that I can announce your name. Okay, great. So now what I can do guys, I can show you the data ingestion demo. So for this, let me open the resource folder. Inside that, I'm having one file called trials.ip1b. So let me open it up. And I also need to activate my environment. So let's activate. So conda activate just. So it's fine. Now let me select the chest. It is already set. Now here I can show you the demo. So here I can write the comment. Download data from G drive. Get. Okay, so first of all, let me import this G drive. No, not G drive, actually G down library. G down. So I think you remember we already installed this G down here. So here is the package G down. So with the help of G down, you can let's say access your Google Drive. That means if you want to download anything from the Google Drive, you can use G down package for this. Got it? So now let me import it. So first of all, I have to give the URL of my data. So URL is equal to. So how to get the URL, guys? So go to the Google Drive, right click, click on the share and copy the link. Okay, and just try to mention the link here. That's it. Got it? So that's how we have to give the link. So let me give my URL here. So this is my URL. Okay, URL of my data. So if I click here, so you see it will open my data. See, it is opening my data. Okay. So now let's first of all execute this line. Then see, if you see any kinds of like Google Drive URL, you will see one unique ID. So this is the unique ID of any file actually. So let's say if I'm talking about this ID, this file. So this file will have another actually unique ID. So you can just copy the link and you can paste here. You can see this ID is different. Okay, this ID is different than this one. Okay, so that's actually all the file will have actually different unique ID. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to extract this unique ID somehow, because see, this URL is common for all the file, but only the things are changing that unique ID. Okay, this unique ID is representing that file in the Google Drive. Got it? So somehow I have to extract the unique ID. So how to extract the unique ID, guys? So I think you know that this is a string actually. So if I show you the data type, so type of URL, you will see that it's a string. It should be URL. It's a string, right? Now what I can perform, split operation. So I'll just write URL dot split, and with respect to slash, actually I have to perform the split operation. So let me give the slash. Now see, if I execute, see, it will give me these are the actually what, because it has done the slash operation with the help of slash. It has given me http googledrive.com, then file. Now see, this is the unique ID, and this unique ID is present actually second last. Okay, second last position. Now if I want to extract it, what I can do, I can give the ID. So I can give, let's say, -2. So if I'm giving -2, so it should return me that file ID. See, it is returning the file ID. So what I can do, I can store in a variable. That's a file underscore ID is equal to, this is my file ID. Okay. Now simply I will add this file ID with the URL. So this is the URL. So here I just need to give this ID. Okay. So then it will automatically download that file. So now this is the download code. So you just need to call gdown.download. Inside that you have to give the URL as well as the file ID. Okay. And you have to give the name of the data. So let's say I want to give the data name just ctscan underscore data.zip. Okay. This is the name I want to give. Now simply if I execute the program, you'll see that it will automatically download this data from the Google Drive itself. See, it is downloading. Okay, I hope guys you can see it's downloading. So it's around 49 MB. Got it? So that's how we can use any kinds of free resources, guys. Okay, it's not like that always you need to use the database S3 bucket and all, because at the end it's a costly, right? So if you want to reduce the cost, so sometimes actually you can also use these kinds of, let's say, technique. All right, see, data is downloaded. So it is available, see, in the resource folder. So we have successfully ingested the data. Got it? So this technique actually will be utilizing for the pipeline creation. That means we'll be creating the entire data ingestion pipeline, and here also we'll be writing the same logic. I hope it is clear now. Now let me delete this file as of now. It's not required. Okay, now let me save. Now let's implement the actual component. But before that, let me show you the notebook experiment, how it can be performed. Like how we'll be ingesting the data. First of all, we'll try to do everything in the Jupyter notebook. Then we'll try to convert as our modular coding. So for this, I'm going to create a file here inside resource folder. I'm going to name it as 01 underscore data underscore ingestion, because this is the first stage, right? So that's why I've given 01 dot ipynb. So this is a notebook file I want to create. Fine. All right. Okay, so here the first thing I need to select my kernel. So let me select my kernel called chest. Now let me import one package called operating system. Now see, everything is working fine. Now if I show you my project working directory, let's say pwd, so you'll see that I'm inside resource folder. Okay, but I already told you, if you are implementing any kinds of project, so always you need to make sure you are working in the project folder. So this is my project folder. Let me show you. So if I go to my project, see, this is my project folder called MLOPs production ready deep learning project. But currently I'm inside the resource folder. So if I want to get back in this folder, what I need to do, guys, I need to use one syntax. I think you remember, bos.chdr. So previously also I used this, I think, syntax. Now inside that you have to mention /. Okay, so it will get back one folder back. Let me show you. So if I execute the program, now if I again show you the project working directory, now see, I'm inside my project folder. Okay, deep learning project folder. Okay, now let's go to the workflow section. So inside workflow, I already told you the first file you have to upgrade something called config.yaml. Okay, then second one params.yaml, then entity, then configuration, components, pipeline, then your endpoint. Okay, which is nothing but main.py, and dvc.yaml I will update at the very last of the project implementation. Okay, so first of all, let's update my config.yaml. So you can see config folder is there. Inside that, I'm having one file called config.yaml. So let me open it up. Now inside config, you just need to mention all the variable name, all the data sources URL. Okay, whatever, let's say third party, let's say name and URL you are using, which is changeable. Let's say in future you want to change it. So that does, so these are the value, variable you can mention inside config.yaml file. So what will happen? Let's say I don't need to open up my component that time. I don't need to open up my, let's say, entire program, and I don't need to change there. Okay, so everything I will be changing inside config.yaml, and it will reflect inside my entire code. Okay, this is called robust implementation. So as a developer, you always need to take care of this part, guys. Okay, so let me show you. So this is my see config.yaml. So inside that I have mentioned my data ingestion configuration. Okay, so what is my root directory, what is my source URL? So this is my data URL, guys. Okay, so this is the data URL you have to mention here. Then after downloading the data, where it will keep in my data ingestion folder, and this would be the file name. Okay, then after unzipping this zip file, so it will save inside the data ingestion folder. So these are the folder name you can mention inside config.yaml file. Let's say in future you want to change something. Let's say you want to change the URL, try to open it up and try to change it here. Everything will reflect in your code. Got it? You don't need to open up your code manually, and there you don't need to change it. So don't do the hard code operation always. Okay, that is the thing. And one folder would be created called artifact. So artifact would be my root folder. Inside that it will create the data ingestion, prepare based model, training, evaluation. All the artifact would be created inside this folder only. Okay, now I think it is clear. Now let me save. Now I'll get back to my notebook. Fine. Now the next thing, I have to update my params.yaml as well. So you can see params.yaml is initially it's empty. So if you keep anything empty, so it will give you error whenever you are executing the code. So as of now, let's add some dummy value inside that. I'll just write, let's say, key val. Okay, like that. So later on, I will change it with all the model parameter. But as of now, just give some dummy value here so that you won't be getting any kinds of execution error. Now let me close it. Now let's update the entity. Now here we are doing the notebook experiment. So that's why I'll be updating the entity inside my Jupyter notebook. But later on, I will update inside the entity folder. I think you saw inside SRC, we are having the entity folder as well. Okay. So inside entity, we'll also mention the entity. Got it? So this is my entity, guys. I think you already know what is entity, config entity, right? Config entity, artifact entity. I think I already taught you in my previous project implementation. So I think remember, we also created another playlist, another live series actually called MLOPs production ready machine learning project, this one. Okay, so there I showed you each and everything, like what is entity, what is artifact, everything I already discussed there. Okay, so we are following the same concept here. So this is nothing but it is a return type of a function. That means it will return, these are the variable, right? So you can see inside configuration, I also mentioned the same thing. Now here we'll be returning. That's why I'm creating a data class here. Okay, that is the thing. Now let me initialize it. Okay. Now the next thing what I have to do, I have to read this config.yaml file as well as the params.yaml file. Okay. Unless and until I'm not reading it, then how I will get all the value, right? All the value from the YAML file. So for this, what I will do, I'll open the constant folder. Inside that, I'm having one constructor file. I'll try to open it up. Inside constructor, I'll mention the path. Okay. That means I'll read this. I'll read this path. Okay. Read this file. So that's why I'm giving the path here. So inside that, if you pass it, so it will create the complete path. And why I'm using the path? Because I think you already know I'm using Windows machine. So if you are executing in any other operating system, you may get the path issue. That's why we're converting everything to the path. That means it first of all detect your operating system. Based on that, it will convert that part. Okay, this is the idea. Now this will give you the config file as well as the params file. Okay, now let me save. Now I'll come to the notebook. So inside notebook, now I'm going to import this constant. Now if you want to import the constant, guys, what I have to do, I have to write from CNN classifier dot constant. Okay, import start. That means I want to import everything. Okay, whatever I have inside this file, I want to import everything. That's why I've given start. Okay, apart from that, I also need some of the utility function, like I need a read YAML file and create directories. Okay, and from where I'm reading for the utils. I think remember inside utils we created some of the utility related function. Okay, so from where from there actually I'm reading. These are the thing. Now let me execute all of them. Okay. Great. So now the next thing, if you see here, after creating this entity, I have to also create the configuration manager inside src config. So inside src, inside config, you can see there is a file called configuration.py. So we have to create these are the functionality. But here we are doing the notebook experiment. First of all, we'll try to write everything in the notebook. Then we'll update in the file. Okay. Now this configuration manager will return here all the configuration. Let me show you. So this is the configuration manager class I have prepared. Okay. So configuration manager, inside that I've created one constructor. So inside constructor, you can see I'm taking the both file path. You can see config file path as well as the params file path. And from where it is coming from the constant. Okay. Then with the help of read YAML, I'm reading the content. Then I'm creating the directory. First of all, that means artifact root. That means artifact folder would be created. Okay. Because inside that I have to update all the artifact, right? Then I'm creating one function called get data ingestion config. So it will return all the configuration related to data ingestion. See, that means your root directory, source URL, local data file, and unzip directory. That means whatever thing you have mentioned, everything it will return here so that I can use it in the component. Okay. So let's say I need the data URL. I'll call the source URL. Okay. That time it will give me the data and I can ingest that data. So that's why we are creating some of the configuration. Okay. For my component implementation. So now let me execute. And here I mentioned the data ingestion config because this is the return type. I think you remember. So this is what we are created. This is called entity. So this will return actually, these are the value only. Apart from that, if you give any other value, it won't be returning because here you have given frozen is equal to true. Frozen is equal to 2 means you can't pass any other value here. Okay, other variable here. You can't return any other variable here. Okay, so that's why you have given frozen is equal to 2. I hope it is clear. Now the next thing, we have to implement the components. Okay, so component means my data ingestion components, like how my data ingestion will be happening. So for this, first of all, let's import some of the library. So these are the library I need for the data ingestion. Let's say operating system, zip file, gdown, then logger, and get size as well. So zip file we'll need because I also need to perform the unzip operation after downloading the zip file. And logger, I think you already know, we have to log the information. Okay, then get size, let's see, if you want to check the size of the file, you can also use get size function from the utility itself. Got it? And gdown will be using for the downloading my data from the Google Drive itself. Now let me import all of them. Now see, this is the same code I have written, but inside a class. Whatever thing I showed you in my trials.ipyonb, the same code I have written, guys. Here you can see same code. So inside this class, I have mentioned it. You can see, first of all, I'm getting the URL, then I'm getting the directory. After that, I'm creating the directory, then logging the information, getting the file ID, creating the URL, downloading the data, again logging the information, and everything is happening inside exception. And if exception is going wrong, it will throw you one exception. Okay, this is what actually I'm writing. So after data ingestion, what I have to do, I also need to extract the data because it's a zip file. For this, I have created another function. So this is the function, guys, extract zip file. Okay, so it will first of all get the zip file path, it will create it, then it will perform the unzip operation. That means the zip file it will download in the artifact, it will unzip that particular file. Okay, that is the idea. Now let me execute and let me show you how it will work. Now if I want to execute, guys, so what I have to do, I have to create a pipeline. Pipeline means it's a flow of execution. That means here I have written two function. You can see two method inside this class. Now tell me which one would be executed at the first and which one would be executed at the last. Definitely, first of all, download file would be executed at the first, then extract zip file would be executed at the last, because once you downloaded the data, then you will be able to perform the unzip operation. Otherwise, it will throw you error, right? So this is the flow of execution, and to perform this flow of execution, we use something called pipeline. Okay, so here is the pipeline, guys. So first of all, I'm initializing the configuration manager. So this configuration manager, then I'm initializing my then I'm getting the configuration, that means my data ingestion related configuration. Then I'm initializing my component data ingestion. Inside that, I'm passing it because data ingestion takes this configuration. Okay, then after that, I'm calling first of all data a download file, then extract zip file, and in the try execute block. Okay, now if I execute, see, my pipeline will start. See, artifact has created inside data ingestion. Now see, it is ingesting the data from this URL itself. See, my data ingestion is going on, guys. And if you want to check the log, open the log file. So here is the log, guys. All the log, it will save here. Fine. So this is what actually our notebook experiment. And this is what actually we'll be implementing as our modular coding. That means we'll be just copy pasting the code in the file itself. That's it. Nothing else. So why I'm showing you the notebook experiment, because I know that most of the people would be familiar with the Jupyter notebook implementation. So that's why first of all, I'm making you understand how things are working. Then we'll be also trying to convert this code as our modular coding. Okay. Okay, so execution is completed. Now if I go to the artifact, data ingestion, see, data.zip file has downloaded, and it has also unzipped that file. Now you can see chest CT scan image. Inside that, I'm having all the images. See, all the images normal and adenocarcinoma image. That means I have successfully ingested my data. Got it? Without any kinds of error. I hope it is clear. Now you can see whenever I will perform the git push operation, it will also push my data, but I don't want that. So what you can do, you can mention this folder location in the .gitignore file. So here I can mention .gitignore. I don't want to push my artifact. So what I can do, I can write the artifact here. So artifacts, okay. Artifact/start. That means it will ignore everything. Now see, it is ignoring everything. Now I can push the changes. Now let me save. Happy to be here today, but we didn't get the notification reminder for today's event, unlike the first one. I'm not sure because notification I think sent to everyone. Please check whether you have turned on my notification or not, guys. So see, if you have subscribed to my channel, first of all, do the notification turn on, guys. Okay, otherwise you may miss out, okay, some of the content. So make sure you have turned on the notification. And if you are first time in my channel, try to subscribe, then you will get all the update. And daily basis you can check the live section. Okay, in the live section, if I'm scheduling any live, you will check here, you'll see here. Okay, all right, so now let's try to implement this code as our modular coding. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll close this at the tab. As of now, it's not required. So first of all, I have to update the config YAML. It is already updated. Params is also updated. Let me update the entity. So now let's go to the src folder. Inside src, you are having one folder here called entity. So let me open the entity. Now inside that, just try to create a file called config underscore entity entity.py. Okay, now inside config entity, whatever entity you created, just try to copy paste from the notebook. So this is the entity we created. I'll copy, and here I'll try to mention it. That's it. Now the next update, I have to update my configuration manager in src config. So let me open the config folder. Inside that, configuration.py, I'll open it up, and whatever configuration you have written, just try to copy inside that. So this is my configuration manager. All right, now let me see anything is missing. So this is missing data ingestion config. Now data ingestion config is available inside config entity. So let me import. So from CNN classifier dot entity, okay, dot entity, import config entity, data ingestion config entity. Okay, sorry, dot config entity, now data ingestion config, because it is available inside config entity. Okay, and I can import like that, so that later on I can also import any other entity as well. That's it. Now everything is fine. Then I will update my component. So let's update the components. I'll go to the src folder. Inside that, I'm having one folder called component. So inside component, I'm going to create a component for file. I'll name it as data ingestion, data underscore ingestion.py. So inside that, let's copy all of the code we have written. So this is my component. I'll copy the entire code. See, no need to change anything. The same code you need to copy paste, okay, from the notebook you have written. Now I also need to import the data ingestion config on my. So from here, I think I can. Fine. Okay, so now next thing, I have to update the pipeline. So let's go to the pipeline section, and let's create one for file here. I'll name it as stage 01. Okay, stage 01 underscore data ingestion. So inside that, I'm going to import all of my required library, because config manager I need, because if you see here, if I want to run the pipeline, I need the config manager. I also need the component, that means my data ingestion. So that is what actually I'm importing, config manager as well as the data ingestion. It is available inside component. Okay, then as well as my logger. Then after that, I have to give the stage name first of all. So stage name is nothing but it's a data ingestion stage. So here I have already created one class called start data ingestion training pipeline. Yeah. So inside that, you can see I'm executing the pipeline. That means the same code I've just copy pasted. This code I've copy pasted inside that, inside main. Okay. That means if you're running the main, okay, main method, it will start my pipeline. That means data ingestion would be started. Okay. And if I want to call it, I can use this syntax actually. I think you know what is if underscore name underscore main. Okay, this statement I think you know. That means your Python will start from here, and inside that you can see I'm calling the main method. So I'm initializing my data ingestion training pipeline, and I'm calling the main method. Okay, that means my pipeline will start, and I'm doing the log operation. Got it? Now let me save. Now I have to create the endpoint. So what I can do, I can create a file here called main.py. This is going to be my endpoint. So inside endpoint, I'm going to call the pipeline. So let me import logger and data ingestion training pipeline, because you can see it is available inside pipeline. This class actually I'm importing here. Okay. Then after that, I'll simply execute the pipeline. Data ingestion pipeline, I'm calling the main function. That's it. Now let me save, and now let me delete the artifact. Okay, now let me execute my program. So I'll just write Python main.py. Now see, it should ingest my data. So because we have completed the pipeline, right? Yeah, hi, Devil, good evening. See, it has started ingesting my data. GNAI part 2 is when? I think tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we'll get the part 2. I'll give the code, no issue. First of all, let's complete. Then I will push my code in my GitHub. From there, you can get the code. Also, let me mention the data URL. So it is available inside config. I'll copy the URL of the data, and I will mention in the README file. Data link. So here I can mention the data link. Now I think ingestion is completed. If I open up my terminal, say execution is done. Now if I go to the artifact, see, it has ingested my data. That means my pipeline is running fine. There is no issue. You can also check the log. You will see that it has successful. Okay, it has completed. Got it? So that's how, see, we'll be implementing all the component going forward. So we'll be, next component we'll be implementing called prepare base model. That means we'll be preparing the base model. Then we'll be starting the model training, evaluation. Okay. Then we'll be also adding the MLflow DBC. Then we'll try to complete. I think 1 to 2 more sessions are required to complete this project. Okay. Yeah. So today I'll only show you the data ingestion part, because see, this concept we'll be using tomorrow as well. Tomorrow we'll be following the same technique. Whatever technique I showed you here, with the help of that, we'll be completing all the component. Okay, so I think guys, we are done. Now let me push the changes. So what I can do, I can update it. So let's say data ingestion completed. Okay, so now if I go to my GitHub and refresh here, see, everything is up to date right now. Okay, now you can get the code. Just try to refresh and try to clone it and try to execute from your site. Fine. So this is all, guys, from today's session. Next session actually will perform the prepare based model training, as well as the model evaluation. Then we'll try to complete this project. Okay. And this project actually will be using Jenkins. Okay, Jenkins to deploy. So if you have any doubt, you can let me know. Otherwise, I think I can end the session. And please like the video, share it. And if you are new to my channel, try to subscribe. Let's hit the 15K subscriber, okay, as soon as possible. Okay, great. So I think no doubt we can end the session, guys. So thanks for joining. Bye, everyone. Good night. Bye. Thank you.